Vamos con el productor que quiere realizar el reality show donde tú, cuando eres residente de los Estados Unidos, te puedes convertir en ciudadano americano. Mucha gente compartió esta noticia cuando nos dimos cuenta y tenemos a Rob precisamente aquí con nosotros, paisanos, para que nos diga exactamente sobre este reality show donde mucha gente también se molestó. Rob Worsoff, a lot of people got upset and a lot of people was like, that's a great idea. Because you came out with the idea of having a reality show for residents to become U.S. citizens. What is the feedback you received?
Well, I think a lot of people don't understand what I'm trying to do. I mean, the document got leaked from the Department of Homeland Security. I had nothing to do with that. I'm just a behind-the-scenes guy, and so somebody leaked it to the Daily Mail, and they started to say that it's the Hunger Games for immigration. And of course it's not, because the Hunger Games is dangerous, first of all. This is very safe. I'm not going to put anybody in any danger. A television network would never allow somebody to be in danger. And of course, this is only volunteer. Nobody's in Hunger Games. People get forced to be in the competition. This is only people who are coming to me. I've received so many messages and DMs from people asking me to be on the show. So I don't know why people keep saying it's the Hunger Games for immigration. I guess it's been a mixed reaction. And some people want me dead and are calling me horrible names online. And I don't know.
Like which ones?
Like what kind of names?
Yes.
People are calling me a Nazi. People are saying there's a special place in hell for people like me. There's sort of like implied death threats, like I hope somebody comes and deals with you, or like watch your back. It's completely crazy because it's the opposite. I'm trying to do the opposite of what they think I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to put a face to people's journey and people's names, and nobody gets punished if they don't move forward in the competition. It's just that one person gets to go all the way to the front without having to wait. Everybody else just stays in the same position that they've ever been in. Plus, they got to be on TV. Maybe they got to make a little bit of a stipend or whatever the fee for being on a game show is. And they get exposure, so they could get, jobs. I don't know what they get out of. Sometimes people who go on TV end up with amazing opportunities. So I don't know what the downside is.
So you're a producer, one of the famous reality shows of losing weight, correct?
Yes, Biggest Loser was similar. People really, when the Biggest Loser came out, people said the same thing, by the way. Oh my God. I was not the senior producer of Biggest Loser. I was just a story producer, sort of lower on the chain. But I was there at the beginning, and people were very concerned that we were taking people with medical situations and health concerns, and we were exploiting them on television. But I think when people saw the show, they realized that that's not what it is. Do you agree?
Yes, no. It was, I think that show was able to motivate a lot of people to lose weight. But in this situation, you want to create a reality show so people that they are already residents in the United States, they become U.S. citizens faster, correct?
Yes.
And how do you come up with the idea of this reality show, Rob?
I'm an immigrant. I immigrated from Canada, the other Mexico, the northern Mexico. I came in from Canada.
Yeah, but you guys don't have tacos. You guys don't have pozole. You guys don't have enchiladas.
Yeah, we do, but they're not good.
But you guys have great food.
Trust me, I went looking everywhere in Montreal for good tacos. It's not an easy thing to do. Yeah, so
So that means you need to create a reality show, who makes the best tacos in Canada.
That's probably true, but I know who makes the best tacos in LA.
Who?
The guy by the Beverly Connection. There's a stand on the street. It's like on the street. I don't know the name, but it's the guy who hangs out by the Beverly Connection on La Cienega in Beverly. I love that place.
Those are the best tacos.
By the gas station.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
And you love that. So how do you became, how you came with this idea of creating a reality show for immigrants that they're already residents to
Okay,
become
so
U.S. citizens?
I love trivia. And when I was immigrating, I immigrated to the United States. And so when I was going through the process, I found out about premium processing, which is where you pay money to jump to the front of the line. And I didn't have the money to do that. So I was like, why can't that be I worked in reality television. I'm like, why can't we have a show where you could win that prize money? I mean, if I didn't make a show about immigration and I just made a show where you could win a bunch of money, you could use that money to pay for premium processing. So really, I'm not sure what the big difference is. Plus, as you know, there is a real lottery system in the United States immigration system. You can win a green card. That's a game show. Then in the actual immigration process, there's actual trivia. Anybody who's gone through the process knows that when you become a citizen of the United States, the final stage is an actual trivia test. They ask you questions. And then there's even a medical evaluation where they make sure that you can stand up and sit down and that you're healthy. So why is that different than putting me on a game show where you ask trivia questions and we make sure that you're healthy by making you run around and compete in fun games? Nobody gets hurt. These are fun. It's supposed to be fun. We're supposed to get to know people and have fun with this. It's not meant to hurt anyone.
So what kind of games do you add on your reality show for people that want to participate and become U.S. citizens?
Well, first, everybody keeps asking me that question, and it's you're giving me too much credit. It would be different no matter what show we go on. So on Fox, it would be different than on Netflix. On Amazon, it would be different than on CBS. I'm like a chef. I prepare a menu, and the network gets to choose the dishes. So my job now is to send them 100 challenges, and then they're going to tell me which 12 they want to use. So in the deck that I made that was meant to be private, that got leaked to the Daily Mail, who decided that they wanted to do a hit piece on the current administration, which my pitch doesn't have anything to do with. I put challenges like a pizza challenge in New York, or a gold rush challenge in California, or a NASA challenge in Florida, where maybe you have to build where the people will visit NASA and learn about NASA, get some trivia pieces of information that they might be tested on later, in the show. And then they build a rocket, and whoever builds the first rocket and launches it successfully, it has immunity. They're from that episode, there's no way they can go home. And everybody else is up for elimination, where there's a vote, and there's a town hall meeting at the end of each episode where the people of that state, so I want every episode to happen in a different state. And the people of that state would meet, just like in a federal election, in a town hall meeting, a few hundred people representing the state of Florida, and they would get to ask questions to our potential future Americans, and back and forth. And based on those questions, they would have a vote, and whoever got the least votes would not move forward in the competition. But there's no other penalty. They just wouldn't move forward in the competition, and those who remained would still be in the competition.
So who do you talk to from the government to explain your idea about this reality show?
I contacted the Department of Homeland Security under President Obama in 2012. And I spoke to a woman named Bobby Faye Ferguson, who was the liaison to the Department of Homeland Security. She was receptive to the idea. She said that Obama is up for re-election this year, and so please come back to me after the election. So I did. And then then there was some turnover in the DHS at that time. So then she said, well, give me a few more months, but I really want to work with you on this. She kept sort of punting. Eventually, I sort of gave up on it. Unfortunately, Bobby Faye Ferguson passed away. And then I took it up again with Brandon Montgomery under President Biden at the Department of Homeland Security. He also was receptive. He said he was going to take this to Alejandro Mayorkas. And then about a week later, Alejandro Mayorkas became the first non-president in American history to be impeached. So at that point, I said, oh no, there goes my pitch. And then a few weeks ago, I brought it back to the Department of Homeland Security and spoke with the people who work there now. And they were, again, receptive to the idea. All three administrations were receptive to the idea. And I hope that, that's really all I could say. I don't know where they stand on it right this second, because there's been obviously all this media attention. But I still feel like we're trending in the right direction. And I still feel like I can make this happen.
You have to have the green light from the government to be able to do the reality show. I mean, you can't just do it, correct?
Well, yeah, anybody can make an immigration themed reality show, but in order to make it real, you know, obviously I can't, you know, help somebody become a citizen without the actual government.
So when we become, and actually you're an immigrant, you were born in Canada, and then you came to the United States, and we have to go through a process of different questions about the history of the United States. Do you plan to add those questions on the reality show?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. There will be trivia contests on the show, for sure. Fun games that help bring out the history of the United States and even current stuff, indigenous peoples. I'm hoping to meet with native communities. They're going to learn stuff along the episode that hopefully they'll be tested on at the end of the episode. So instead of just telling somebody, you know, about something about the Lincoln Memorial, maybe we bring them to the Lincoln Memorial and show them some part of America, and then later they get tested on that thing in preparation for becoming a citizen.
What is the biggest disappointed that you received when you were an immigrant and you came to the United States?
The biggest disappointment?
Yes.
Oh, it was very difficult. It was very difficult. I'll give you just one example. One time, my friend Martin Brezeño, good friend, who is actually of Mexican heritage, but he was born in America. He came with me downtown LA. My appointment was at 9:30 a.m. And I said, it's just going to be quick. And then we didn't get taken till about 3:30 in the afternoon. He waited with me all day in a room that said no cell phones, no food. And we waited all day. And I needed a stamp in my passport. I was sort of applying at that stage for a green card. And my stamp in my passport was going to expire. So I needed to get an extension on my stamp so that I could continue to move to leave, because I work in television and I needed what's called advanced parole, which is like they allow you to come in and out of the country. So I went to when I finally got taken at the window, we'd been waiting all day, and this lady took the rubber stamp and she stamped my passport with the wrong date. She only gave me a 1-day extension instead of a 1-year extension. She moved the wrong rubber wheel. And I said, no, I think you gave me the wrong stamp. First she argued with me, and then I said, no, it's only a day instead of a year. So then she said, oh, I'm sorry. And she took out whiteout liquid paper and she put it on my passport. And I said, are you supposed to be putting whiteout on my passport? And she said, yes, we do this all the time. And for the next year, every time I came in and out of the United States, I got pulled into secondary questioning from U.S. Customs and Immigration every time. And I had to, wait for hours, and they were interrogating me, and it was terrible.
So you understand our community, Rob, that most of the people, we come to the United States to succeed, to triumph, to really help our family with the best education for our sons, for our children. So you understand that?
Yes, absolutely.
You have friends that went through that too?
Absolutely, yes. I have a ton of friends who went through the process. I work, when you live in LA, I mean, are you specifically referring to the Latino community?
Correct.
Yeah, I live in LA and I work in reality television. I have if you're asking me if I have 1 million friends in the Latino community, and I am sensitized to the seriousness of immigration, the answer is yes.
Do you think we need immigration reform?
Yes, I think the immigration system is ridiculous in the United States. I think it's been a disaster for 40 years. And by the way, I mean that on both sides. I think that the United States government could probably use a clear information campaign to help everybody, not just people who are trying to immigrate to the United States, but actual people born in the United States, to have people understand the process. People who are born here don't know anything about this stuff. People who are born here have no idea what what the process is. People don't realize that when you have millions of people coming in, if you're asking me about undocumented immigrants, it's a whole different conversation than legal immigrants who are coming in through the front door. And obviously when we're talking about, it's nice to just yell due process, which I understand. And of course, everybody should be entitled to. The problem obviously becomes resources, where you're like, how do you have millions of courtrooms and millions of judges and millions of bailiffs and millions of clerks and pay for the money and do it in a timely way? In order to process every immigration issue in America, there's 350 million people here. We would need 35 million people to be working day and night on these issues in order to fix it. And I don't know how to fix it. And I'm not saying I know how to fix it. I'm just asking the question, what does it mean to be American? And I wanted to start this conversation.
And that's one of the things that, we mentioned on the radio show too, Rob, that there's so many people already here in the United States, more than 10, 15 years, 20 years. And they pay taxes. They work hard. They really, have their kids at the best universities. And they do good for the nation of the United States.
Yeah, here a question.
And that's why. So my question is, how are you going to select the people that can participate on your reality show to become a U.S. citizen?
Well, the number one rule in television is casting, is people, is characters, is like personality, is like, why do they want to do this? And, where are they from and what are their backstories? And I think that the most important thing, of course, will be diversity. Like you said, people who have been here in some cases for many, many years and just never got around to doing this. Some people who are new to the application process. Some people who hopefully representing a wide range of ethnicities and genders and orientations. And I'm hoping as best as we can to make, a representative sample of everyone.
And that's one of the things that a lot of people has been asking me. For example, they send me messages and questions like, how are you going to get involved on that reality show? But one of the things that I know is that I'm sure there's a lot of TV networks and a lot of companies that are already reaching out to you.
Yes, I have a couple of irons in the fire, but I guess we'll see where it lands.
So when do you think you're going to know if the reality show is going to be a reality?
Literally, I don't know anything about that more than anyone. Hollywood's a fickle business. So we'll see if I can keep the momentum going also. But also, there does seem to be some good interest, and I'm hoping to land the plane. But of course, there's never any guarantee.
Rob, what do you want to tell, all my viewers and listeners that some of them, they're mad? Can you explain to them exactly, what you really want to do and making sure that you're trying to help to become U.S. citizen faster?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of misinformation because somebody leaked my pitch deck. It wasn't meant to be public yet. Obviously, I wanted to be able to pitch it to television networks before the whole universe found out about it. I went to the government to get permission before I pitched it to television networks. I guess I really want everybody to know that, my heart really is in the right place here. I'm not trying to exploit anyone. I'm not trying to punch down on anyone. The vast majority of people who have hit me up on DMs and messages in the last 72 hours are people who are Latinos who want to be a part of it. And this is meant to be a celebration to get to know our newest Americans and to it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be mean. And I'm not going to put people in situations that make them look stupid or bad or exploit them in any way other than, unless you think, I don't know anybody on television, I suppose on some level, when you say exploited, are the people on The Biggest Loser exploited? Are the people on The Bachelor exploited? Are the people on Jersey Shore exploited? I don't know. Survivor, I don't know. But in that sense, okay, maybe. I am a television producer, but certainly in terms of their immigration status, I have so much honor and respect for the journey that people have gone through. And especially having lived in LA for 25 years, I am highly aware and sensitized of the Latino community, who I honestly think is filled with amazing people who are, as you say, mostly just looking to find better avenues and better opportunities. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much, Rob Worsoff. So let us know what's the next step. And make sure, please, that you, one of these days, you have to pay some tacos on your best place that you like on the corner. So get ready for that.
Now everybody knows where to find me if they want to. Now I can't go there anymore, I guess. Someone's going to find me and like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that is, yeah. I actually want to, I sort of want to go there now.
Now, you know what, Rob, one of the things that I want to know is like, how much time do you have to really create your reality show, or what's going to happen if they don't give you the green light? What are you going to do?
I guess if the answer is no, I'm just going to go back to regularly scheduled programming. I have other pitches and I work on other things, some sports stuff. And I guess I'm going to see, you know, a producer's job is never done. Like it's a tough job. You just have to keep pitching and finding freelance gigs. I direct stuff and show run stuff. And so I guess it's just, I'll just keep going.
Okay, so we want to see what is the next idea you're going to have. And thank you so much, Rob. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing exactly, you know, what is exactly what you're trying to create with this reality show. And I mean, God bless you and your family too. And thank you so much for giving the time to speak to you.
You too, sir. Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. So yeah, we need to go to the tacos now. But
they don't open
Taco Tuesday.
Until 4 o'clock. They don't open until 4 o'clock. So.
Oh, they don't open to 4. No, yeah.
You already know the schedule.